Hello dear viewers and welcome back to our channel, your favorite place on YouTube for stories that take you right behind the palace walls, where the gilded picture frames hang, the velvet curtains sway, and the most delicate moments of royal life unfold. Here, we don't just list who wore what or read you official statements, we read between the lines, we savor the telling glances, we notice the tiny gestures that speak volumes. And today, we have a moment that practically twinkled its way across the internet, a slip in the stately mask of monarchy that revealed, once again, why Catherine, Princess of Wales, remains so beloved. A moment at Wimbledon that felt less like royal protocol and more like watching a dear friend break into laughter at an unexpected compliment. So grab your tea, or let's be honest, your glass of evening wine, no judgment here, settle into your comfiest spot, because we're about to dive deep into a story that might seem small on the surface, but actually shows us everything about the new chapter of the monarchy, its human heart, its vulnerabilities, and its warm, slightly shy smile. Let's start with the grand setting. Wimbledon. Even the word sparkles with tradition, doesn't it? Those manicured lawns that have witnessed everything from Bjorn Borg's icy nerves to Serena Williams' fierce roars. The scent of fresh grass mingling with strawberries and cream. The hushed anticipation as players toss the ball into that perfect patch of sky. It's also a place where the royal family doesn't just attend, they belong. Generations have sat in the royal box, offering polite applause, gracious smiles, and a subtle reminder that even amidst the fiercest serves, there's a crown watching. This year, the men's final promised drama. Italy's Jannik Sinner versus Spain's Carlos Alcaraz, a clash of bright young stars that had everyone buzzing. And sure enough, there in the royal box, the cameras found their favorite muses, the Prince and Princess of Wales, with Prince George, now 10 and already cultivating that Windsor seriousness, and Princess Charlotte, 8, with her bright, curious gaze. But the big surprise, or perhaps the disappointment for many fans, was the absence of Prince Louis. We've come to love his mischievous face peeking out at royal events, his exaggerated yawns, those cheeky hand waves. It's almost like the family pet, the irrepressible, wonderfully unpredictable little spark. But not today. Today was for the older Wales children, now being gently eased into the gravity of national occasions. So there they all were, George in a tiny version of his father's suit, Charlotte in a beautifully modest summer dress with a neat bow, Catherine luminous in a blue dress that fluttered just enough to be playful, her hair arranged in those famous soft waves that seemed to defy humidity. William leaned in at times, sharing brief words with George, and occasionally all four broke into smiles over some courtside quip. It was all, by royal standards, warm, intimate, perfectly choreographed. And yet, what made headlines wasn't the match, spectacular though it was. It wasn't Catherine's choice of outfit, or even the grace with which she stepped onto centre court after the match to fulfill her official role as patron of the All England club. It was that tiny moment, one heartfelt shout that sliced through all the centuries of etiquette like a sunbeam through stained glass. Just as Catherine stepped onto the green grass to hand over the trophies, amidst the delicate coughs and restrained murmurs of the crowd, someone couldn't hold it in. "I love you, Kate." Not a whisper. Not an awkward cough into a handkerchief. A full-bellied, joyous shout. The kind of unscripted affection you hear at a pop concert or from a friend at a crowded pub. And here's what made it magic. Catherine didn't freeze. She didn't cast a nervous glance at her lady-in-waiting or hurry on with the stiff royal half-smile. Instead, she absolutely bloomed. Her face lit up with delight. She laughed, a real, ringing, unplanned laugh that reached all the way to the very back row. Her shoulders softened, her eyes crinkled, and for just a heartbeat, you could see every barrier drop. It was the kind of laugh that says, "You have no idea how much that means right now." And perhaps we don't. Because let's remember what Catherine has quietly endured this past year. Her brave, dignified disclosure that she's undergoing cancer treatment. The periods of absence that sparked everything from genuine worry to cruel, baseless internet rumors. The monumental strength it must take to return to these enormous public engagements, to look impeccable and composed when your body is still mending. So that shout from the stands wasn't just a playful interruption. It was the voice of thousands, maybe millions, who wanted to stand up and say the same. "We love you, Kate. We're glad you're here. We're with you." Her laughter in that moment wasn't just a personal smile, it was a collective sigh of relief. A sign that yes, she still has that glow. That joy hasn't been stolen by illness. That the future queen still connects, still delights, still welcomes love from her people with open, unguarded warmth. Social media exploded, naturally. Clips of the moment ricocheted across TikTok, Instagram, and X, or Twitter, for those of us stubborn enough to keep calling it that. People reposted it with captions like "This is why we adore her" and "A queen in waiting, but always human." Because truly, what is more precious than a royal who can drop the protocol just long enough to giggle at a stranger's impulsive confession? Of course, there was still plenty of tradition that day. After Sinner defeated Alcaraz in what many called the most gripping final in years, Catherine composed herself with that graceful switch we've seen her master so well, from warm laughter to serene stateswoman. She handed out the trophies with delicate poise, her gloved hands steady, her small nods perfectly pitched. William stood nearby, proud, ever the future king, ever slightly more reserved. George looked on with fascination, Charlotte shyly peeked from behind her mother's skirt. Later, the family met Sinner behind the scenes, offering personal congratulations. But even there, the moment felt touched by that earlier flash of authenticity, as though the ice had been permanently cracked. Commentators across Britain were quick to jump on it. Some called it the most relatable royal moment in years. Others said it was exactly the kind of public connection the monarchy needs in this century, less about stiff upper lips, more about genuine shared delight. And really, can you blame them? We live in an age where authenticity is prized above almost everything else. Where we've grown weary of carefully manicured PR statements and photo ops. So to see Catherine, the woman destined to wear the crown one day, react with such spontaneous joy, it meant the world. It also gave us a tantalizing glimpse of what kind of queen she might one day be. Not just elegant and duty-bound, but warm, accessible, capable of letting out a peal of laughter right in the middle of a centuries-old ritual, simply because someone shouted "I love you" and meant it. So, what do you think, dear friends? Did this moment charm you as much as it did us? Do you believe these little breaches in royal formality are exactly what keeps the monarchy close to people's hearts, or do you think it's simply a well-timed bit of public relations magic? We'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, you know we read them all and treasure your insights. And if this story of laughter, love shouted across center court, and a princess who let down her guard for just one perfect second warmed your heart, please give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss our next cozy dive into royal life. And turn on that little bell, because who knows what other unscripted gems are waiting just around the corner at Buckingham, Windsor, or maybe even on the steps of Wimbledon again next year. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you very soon with more stories, more sparkle, and always more of the human heart behind the crown.